Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the graphic design training. I believe we're doing great today. All right, now I want to show you how you can make a 3D with your smartphone using your PixelLab with the help of shape alone. So, without wasting much of our time, we are heading straight to this. Just go into the shape area. Then, what you are going to do is to select this kind of a shape. After selecting them, we need to manipulate them. So, increase the size just as big as this. After this has been done, we are going to give it a color. So let it be black color so that we'll be able to cut it out. Tap on this, then you reduce the size. Better change the color to something like white. Look at it very well and you make sure you cut it out. So let's cut it out to make it work. Okay, this is not right. So you reduce the size, don't close it. Reduce the size very well. Then after the size has been reduced, you still need to reduce the size so that when you reduce the size of this, it will be able to plumb. What you are going to do next to make sure that everything is accurate, use your relative position icon to position it well. Now you need to sharpen your eyes to look at it critically whether you are justified with the alignment. After you are satisfied with this, there is a match to do. You need to merge it together. After merging it together, go back to the erase color and you erase out. Then reduce the size. When you reduce the size, you can see how it's be, right? This one will be useful for the second tips, not the first tips. Okay, fine. Now you are going to hide this. Go back to the shape area. Select the same shape, but not necessarily should be the one you select before, but you can still maintain it. After increasing the size to your own desired taste, the next thing is to position it very well. After positioning it well, repeat the same process by giving it a black color. Go back, select the shape, select the same frame, then you are going to position for cutting. But what you are going to do next to make sure that everything is actually plumb at this juncture is to make sure that we are not cutting out the middle, or we might cut it out, but we make sure that everything is actually cool. This is not right anyway. We can tap here. After tapping here, the next thing is to increase the size a bit, just as perfect as this. Still reduce the size to a bare minimal level, then increase a bit. Reposition to the center to make sure that everything is actually aligned. We can increase the size very well to make sure that we are able to put a justification to this. We can actually increase the size for this to make sure that it works. So let it fit in around there. After making it fit in, you can now reposition this, then reposition this. Okay, perfect. When we look at it critically, is it actually work the way we want it? So that when we reduce it, it will be able to work well. Merge it together, go to the erase color, then you erase it out. Now reduce the size and let's say, now we are making sense anyway. You can rotate it to this particular area. Okay, after rotation, then there's more to do. What we are going to do next will shock you. So just copy, then after you copy, change the color to something like white. After changing the color, reduce the color to bare minimal level to your own taste. Then position it to here. Now this is the right time to use your relative position so that everything will be uniform. Then what you are going to do next is to position this. Just make sure that everything is actually aligned. You can recheck properly to see everything will work according to your taste. Now merge it together, go to the erase color, then you erase it. Now we were able to form what we wanted to form. We're heading quickly to this area. When we look at it, everything is actually plumb as we expected, but we need to give it a breathing space. Now we have this, we can quickly do something. Rotate it. After rotation, you make sure that you try to position it to the center, just as perfect as this. Position to the center. Use your relative position to make sure that everything is actually cool. You can do that to the previous cutout shape. When you are able to do that, the next thing we need to do, combine the mask skills to set up your stuff. And if you don't want that, you can actually change your color. Go to the color area, change this color to black because you want to cut it out. Then after that has been done, use your eyes to measure it properly. When you measure it properly, then you can cut out the area you want. Just reduce the shape, then you look at it very well. Is this right for you to cut? So if it is actually right, then you can cut it out, which will be very okay. So I'm position this here since I have a breathing space. So after that has been done, I will go back to the opacity, increase it, then merge this together, then I will cut it. Okay, after merging together, just go to erase color, then you cut it. Now go back to the shape area, then you can close the mouth here. Okay, close this mouth, put a breathing space a little bit, just as this. Don't let the mouth close, let it be around there. Then you heading back to the color, change the color, let it rhyme together with the previous color to make sure that everything is cool and uniform. Now you can see we are able to close that. Then the next thing we can do, we can quickly tap on this, the bottom one, go back to the mask area, enable the mask, do a kind of a manipulation here to make sure that everything is good. You can rotate a little bit to make sure that we put a finishing touch into that. Then the next thing we need to do, tap on where you want to move. Just move the shape exactly like this. Then you can rotate. After rotation, move them the whole body so that you can be able to cut out. Then you go back to rotation again. I just want to cut out the edge. I want it to look awesome, but I will cut it together with wet. I will cut it together with this. That is the reason why I have to rotate properly. Okay, fine. Okay, good. So now that I'm able to cut out that part, I'm coming here, then everything is seem to be cool as expected. So I'm going to merge some, then I will leave the middle one. So I'm merging this together, as you can see. After merging it together, go back to the color, just change the color. So I'm changing the color to this while I maintain that to be white. Then I will merge this together, put it at one particular position. Okay, now the previous one that we hide, we need it right now, right? So we need to reduce the size, just as you can see. After reducing the size, don't touch this. You can rotate. So when you rotate them, then the next thing we need to do is to make sure that everything is actually plumb as we expected here. So what we're going to do next is to just make sure that we have this. After having this, we are going to duplicate this. So duplicating, we are going to position around here. Okay, perfect. You can turn on your what? You can turn on your grid as a kind of a demarcation so that you won't overdo. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So your grid will serve as a ruler. You sharpen your eyes so that you won't overdo. Okay, perfect. So now that we have these at the finger of our tips, then the next thing we need to do is to look at it very well. Is this going to work with what we wanted or what we're doing? Then the next thing we can do, we can still improvise by moving this in just as to close the space in between them. Okay, perfect. Then we can change the whole color, make everything look different. So we come here, we change the color so that everything will look different. We can look at it. What do we have here? Is everything really in line with what we wanted? So we can demarcate, putting this here. Then we can measure, okay? Measure it and we make sure that everything actually work the way we wanted. Okay, so after this has been done, then there's little things we can do to make sure that everything is actually right. Just merge this. After you merge it, position this around here. So after that has been done, then there's something we need to do. We can quickly heading back to the eraser. So getting to the erase color, then we can try at least to erase the middle just as this. So after erasing the middle, then the next thing we can do, okay, we can go back. So when we go back, just tap on this and cut it out so that it will be smooth anyway. So I'm cutting this out, not much, but just simple. You can see, right? So that the reason why this was cut out is to make sure that it not touches anything. It is, if it is not up to what you wanted to cut, you can still adjust and recut a little bit to make sure that everything is good. So now we have our result here. You can reduce the size a bit to make sure that everything in line. Okay, so after that has been done, then we can position this. Just make sure that you position to the center. Have this to be positioned to the center. If it doesn't work, you can manually adjust them. Okay, I know that I have to find out miss to make sure that everything is actually rhyme here. So go back to the color. You can give it the same color to make sure that everything is actually rhyme. So we can increase the size just to make sure that everything is actually rhyme. But what I'm going to do to make sure that everything is rhyme, okay, just turning this. It will require a kind of a patience. Okay, so we are doing the same thing as the demarcation here. So after that has been done, I can increase the size now. So increase the size to make sure that it will work. It's very simple what we're going to do. So what we do next is to go back to the erase color. So getting to the erase color, so I'm cutting out all these parts, okay, cut it out. So after that has been done, I can be able to come here. You can see, right, come here, just use a movement arrow to position. Okay, very good, very good. Then I have to look at it critically. Is this actually work the way I wanted? So I can move it up a bit. It should not exceed. Okay, just make sure that everything is in line. It's not exceed. Okay, okay. So this is area when we need to work, right? Because when it is said, it won't be okay anymore. So we need to pay more attention, if possible, to zoom it out to make sure that you position it properly. So you can check what could be the error. So by look at it, you are dealing with two things exactly. Okay, so now work it very well. Look at how it look. So left back, there's more to do. So position this one. Just make sure that it rhyme at the top. Okay. After you rhyme, you can copy. We are going to improvise. Set the same thing, copy. Set the same thing towards this edge. Very good. Very good. So now we can merge everything together successfully. We come out with our logo, right? Very good. So now position this at the middle. This is DB. Okay. So after that has been done, we can now go back to the text area where we have 3D. We have 3D. Okay. We are going to the font area. So we'll go back to the font area where we have our font. So Olio script. We have our Olio script. So getting the Olio script, we can increase the size. Okay, perfect. So we have Olio script. Good. So go to the padding and make sure that everything show here. So go to the text area where we have signature. Olio's 3D signature. So we'll go to the text area. Okay. Then when we get there, we can try a font called taken by future. Taken by future. So when we look at that font, this should be okay. Then we can increase the size and see how it looks. Okay. So you need the padding to work with. Know what padding is. So what we need to do next around here, we have 3D signature. So which need to be positioned here. Then we have this. Okay. So we have a different style for this, but we need to use the one. If this is too big, we can look at all these italic fonts that can go along with this. So trying this should be the best. Okay. So we can reduce the size a bit while we try to match our way to position this. Okay. Okay. So if this can be able to get away here, just make sure that you have this. Then signature very close. Okay, perfect. So we have our 3D signature. Then we can put in all our write-up right now. So we have this. Then 3D signature. We change all our fonts. Color. Change everything to this. Well, we have this to be changed to this. Okay. So now the next thing we need to do is to just have this. So let's say we have just one call away. Just one call away. So we can use a very good font to manage this. So we can have a beauty font, could be the best. Beauty font. Just one call away could be the best. So now we have this. Or we change the entire system. Let it look simple. So we have 3D signature. Okay. So let everything be in capital letter. Then let it into this. Look at a better font that can work along with that. So we have been having different kind of a font. So we can look at the glammy one that can go along with this. Okay. Martina scripts. So let me cram that. Martina scripts. So this should go along with this, right? Martina scripts. So let's try Martina scripts as a kind of maintenance script. Okay, just call it one call away. Okay, perfect. So now we can just make sure that we reduce the size for this, and there is breathing space in between them. Position it to the center, and we are going to, maybe we should try to make this to be 2 so that it can be bigger anyway. So we can position this, we can position this to the center while we create a breathing space in between them. Okay, perfect. Then after that, close the space a bit, have the position around here, reduce the size a bit, a breathing space, we done. Then after that has been done, you can put in your words. You can put in, so we have the color can be changed anyway. So the signature can carry black color. Why we have a color for this, or we manipulate that, just this. So after we have our slogan, okay, we have our slogan 3D signature. So we have our slogan ready. Then we can increase the size for this a bit to make sure that it actually cool. So now that we have that, use your relative position to see whether this could cool. So if it doesn't cool, readjust a bit. Then we can try something amazing. So quickly heading back to your PixelLab. Look at where we have all these social media icon that you can use to put in your contact. So I'm going to steal this, so I don't need to do another one. I'm stealing this, okay? But there is a way we can steal it too to make sure that it will work. So I'm stealing this. Okay, so if I'm stealing this, I still need to work with this. Perfect. So now I can put the 3D here to make sure it will work. So we have 3D. So we have our 3D at 3D line. 3D line. So when you pull that, you can quickly add it back, or we can just form this. Okay. So change the color quickly to black as well. Then we need to look into this. Is this actually work? So when we look at that, so we look at the color combo. So you go to the signature. You can use your color picker at this juncture to make sure that you select the right color for this. So we select this color, but I don't want it to be too obvious. So it will be having a touch of a black, but not actually black, but somehow deeper. So and when we have this at the 2, then I need to change this, the 3D signature, to this. Or other way around, 3D signature. So when we look at that, I believe it's cool, right? Okay, it's cool. So the next thing we need to do is to just make this one obvious. So I'm going to add in some E4 to this. So we have 3, 3. It shouldn't be 4. So after that, position it to the center, or make sure everything is right. Then when that has been done, then the next thing is to have the color change totally. Have the color change to something like so have black. So when we have a black color, we can have this color change around there. So having this, we can have the color change here too. So now everything is cool. So the next thing we can do is to just move them up to see how it will work. So when we move it up, it actually work the way we wanted. So we have our 3D signature. We can add something to make it look cool. So let's take it, for instance, we had something like this, but we quickly need to go to the font area where we have our royal. So quickly type area, or we type frame. Okay, when we type a frame, we can click on category of them. Then the first one, which is N, can be of useful, or we try A, B, C, D. We look at it, which one we can E, F, G, H. So H, I, J, K, L. Do we see any? L, M, N, O, P. Let me see. O, P. I've seen one, which is M. So looking at this M, this is a font of we call it a rare font. So when you download this font on the Google, any alphabet will give you a particular shape. So now I have this. So what I'm going to do is to position that here. Okay. So change the color to, let's say, black. We change it to this. Let's say black. Copy. Then you change this. Put it here to make sure that it's really cool. So now everything is done. But the funny thing is to make sure that this is in line. Are they actually in line? No. So I need to measure it properly. That is where mistake normally be. So if this is in line now, what about others? Okay. So I need to measure the top one as well. Measure it. Are they in line? So this is in line too. So I need to adjust this too. Adjust. Okay. So this can be adjusted as well. Okay. So this breathing space in between, let me leave small. Okay. Then I'm going to adjust this as well. Believe it cool, right? Okay. After that, you can shift this one down. After shifting, you can adjust this a bit. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, now that we have everything at the fingers of our tips, then the next thing we can do is to go and mock it up. So go in there, save with transparent backgrounds. So let's head in directly to where we want to do our markup. So we go back to the Chrome browser because we are not wasting time anymore. Then you go back to your photopea. Allow your photopea to load. After loading, then the next thing you need to do, tap open from computer. Locate where you have your markup installed. So I'm looking for my markup. Sorry, I have to redo it. Tap open from computer. I have all my mockup on my Gmail, so I have to look for one. Okay, not here. So I believe and I hope I found it quickly. Okay, let's look at the premium one if I'm able. Let's check here. Okay, so we can check. Come here, which look at. So let's look at this. Check this particular area. Okay. Then okay, fine. It has brought out the file, so we can tap here. So getting here, we tap here. I'm looking for the markup. So after loading, you can scroll. I want to scroll down. I believe it's around one corner here. So if it is mockup, yeah, yep. It's here. But I will have to. I will wait a bit for it to load. Mockup 30. Tap on it. So here there are two ways. It depends on how the site work. So at times the site will not even show anything. When you experience that, you need to exercise patience for the site to respond. Once the site responded, then you can go ahead with the editing. Okay, you see, it's now bringing up loading. So when you see loading, be looking at the screen of your phone until when it display what you wanted. So immediately it display it, you can go ahead with the editing. Make sure you have a ZARC. I've download this markup at the description of this video. Extract the way we extract font. Tap on the file here, double click. Hide all the design there. If you have opportunity or you have a problem with this window, just pop up, scroll to the left, then you close. It's just as simple. Hide everything. Tap on the layer to be back. Tap on file. Then you see open and place. Don't click open anymore. Tap on it. Locate our design we just made on our PixelLab right now that we spend almost like 20 minutes. Then we are going to bring in it here. Import it here. Reposition very well to make sure that everything really fits in. After you are able to do that, tap on save with smart object. Okay, tap on, after you click on file, click on save with smart object. If you miss any of this style, you will not be able to say smart object. So there is no magic there. Once you miss any steps, you don't pay more attention, there is probability that you won't be able to see any of this option. And if you're unable to see that, don't stress yourself. Follow the normal process. You can download the mockup, move it to your drive if you don't know how to extract. Once you move it to your drive, go select it exactly as I show you. Then after you import it, follow the normal process. You wait. Then the result is out, as you can see. You can see the result. So you see everything very clear. So now that we have our results, is it not cool? We tap on the file, click on export and save as PNG. Very amazing. Then you go in there, tap on the save. Look at the screen, another option pop up, open. Then let's see. You can see the results. This is just a simple trick how you can come up with a 3D logo on your Android smartphone using your PixelLab and your photopea. I believe this is helpful on one way or the other. Thanks for watching. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I update my channel with amazing video like this. And if you are a subscriber, don't forget to share, like, comment, and don't forget to keep checking for more updates. Thank you. God bless you.